to talk a little bit about data analytics in general and some use case scenarios that we get inside of Salesforce. Because at the end of the day, you're not just capturing data for various platforms. I mean, you want to be able to treat and display that information in a way that is very useful for any organization, for your organization itself. When we talk about data analysis, we can talk about descriptive statistics, which is basically you're just summarizing past information. In Salesforce, reports and dashboards has been doing this for a very long time. When you get the product of Einstein of Analytics Plus or Analytics Growth, you kind of get like a 2.0 version of reports and dashboards because you just got a lot more integration, and you can do a lot more with that. A very use case scenario of descriptive statistics that you would find in Salesforce would be, maybe a sales manager that want to keep track of average revenue per sales user, or you want to get quarterly performance in there through graphs categorizing customers. You get a lot of functionality in descriptive statistics that Salesforce already has, and it just kind of like ramped up by products like Einstein Analytics and the like. We've got Inferential Analytics, which isn't too different. It's actually very hard for you to be able to separate descriptive statistics and inferential analytics in the sense that you are analyzing data that you have, but in inferential analytics, the difference is that you're trying to determine some trend. You're kind of thinking more towards what information instead of just visualizing and seeing the information that you have is what insight you can get into that information. So let's say you want to determine customer satisfaction through a survey that's given randomly to some closed won opportunities. This is something that can be done to determine customer satisfaction, because we're not going to have like the entire a huge amount of data or every single closed won opportunity. We're going to have maybe like a 50% of it, but we're going to still try to determine what trends and what aspects of a business process or a closed won opportunity in this case. Something else that we can do, or what can be done through inferential and descriptive statistics, is when we put them together in Salesforce. So let's say we want to diagnose, we can bring insight into something that may have occurred. So let's say that we have the product Einstein Discovery, and through Einstein Discovery we get a data set and we're able to analyze what's affecting one field, so how that field is being affected by the other fields that are in that data set. And this is very interesting. This is something that we would do with analytics, with that product specifically, which is where you would find Einstein Discovery. Again, the whole idea is you want to be able to assess or to evaluate the impact of a business process has on our results. So different variables and how that is affecting, let's say, revenue or turnover rate or something like that. We can also do a little bit of prescription, and what this means is basically we want to be able to say or to tell the effect different actions are going to have on an outcome. So we're going to be evaluating different things or different fields in if we talk about Salesforce, and how those different values in that field are going to affect another field, and even before it actually occurs. So we're just not analyzing what has already happened, but we're analyzing what could happen. So a user story is, we want to be able to determine analyze different actions and how these actions are going to affect or can possibly affect an outcome, so that we can make some type of recommendation. This is kind of difficult to do as of right now, I think, in Salesforce in some aspects. But again, we do get something called Einstein recommendations, which can be modeled or can be programmed to work in a similar way. But it's a direct type of analysis that you can do through descriptive and inferential analytics. And some food for thought now, or lately, that Salesforce has bought Tableau, is where is that going to take us when it comes to these kind of analysis that we try to make and that we want to make in any business or for any business process. Another thing that we can do with this is causation. So we want to determine the impact of a variable on an outcome. So it sounds a little bit similar to prescriptive statistics, except that in this case, we just want to know what happened, why did it occur. We're not really trying to determine different outcomes in the future, but we just want to analyze what has already occurred. For this, we get data insights and discovery, which are products that come with analytics. or in Analytics Plus, and we just want to be able to say what sort of variables are affecting our sales, and you want to be able. This will enable a user or enable a business to focus on different actions that can be improved, or maybe reevaluate an entire business process. And one of the most interesting things that I find with Einstein in general is the predicting capability that it has. This is something that we have with Prediction Builder. It's quite interesting. Let's say we want to be able to predict future revenue or an amount closed on opportunities, and we want to be able to segregate this monthly, for example. This is something that can be done through the Prediction Builder. So it brings a lot of functionality, very cool stuff. The other example I gave at the very beginning when we talked about Prediction Builder is, let's say you want to check how many people are going to be late in their invoices by analyzing how many times they have been late in the past in their invoices. This is something that is definitely and can definitely be done through the Prediction Builder. It's quite a very interesting platform and product. So yeah, so this is basically some of the things that can be done through descriptive and inferential statistics in Salesforce. But what does this mean? I mean, we want to be able to put this all together in a way that's very useful for any user. So these are some couple of questions that you need to ask yourself as you work with analytics or with Prediction Builder or with just any product in general. I think it's very useful. The first stage is preparation. It's a preparation stage. So where is the data coming from? What has to be done to that data? So, I mean, it's not, again, like I said at the beginning, it's not just about gathering data from different sources. Is also, what has to be done? How are we going to treat that data inside of Salesforce? In Salesforce Analytics, for example, you get something called recipes and stories, which are able to create data sets and just quite helpful, very useful for any self-service analytics or BI kind of platform. We need to be able to analyze the information that we're getting through. So we want to be able to know or to identify the use case scenarios, the user stories. How is this going to be helpful for a business? And also, we want to be able to know, is this something that can be done with current infrastructure, and what needs to be done to be able to improve that entire data capture. We want to be able to reflect on the information that we have. Are the outcomes, is the data that we have after preparing it and analyzing it, is it going to give us what we need? Okay, are we getting the expected result? Are we adding value to a business process through doing this? And what needs to be changed to be able to get there? And last but not least, and this is probably the most important part, is who's going to be able to see those results. Okay, what can be done to really impact a business through visualization, through the recommendations, through the next actions, and just an everyday process. I mean, sometimes data is just kind of like there and nobody really looks at it, and we want to be able to integrate it in a way that is meaningful for not just for top level executives, but also the user, who at the end of the day is the one who's in the face of the customer. So this is it for now. We're going to be looking at a very interesting demo with Prediction Builder in the next video. So yeah, I will see you guys at a later